Why post the photo? If you don't want the likes, the comments, the thirst, the simps, the haters, all of the above, don't post the photo. You post that, you're looking for all of the comments.
What happens when an athlete focuses more on social media than improving their skills? Just ask Angel Reese. Her recent actions have even her supporters questioning her choices. While Reese is making waves online, Caitlin Clark is busy breaking records on the court. Imagine if Reese spent as much time on her game as she does on social media. Instead, she's making headlines for red carpet appearances and controversial remarks. Meanwhile, Clark is focused on improving her skills and giving back to the community. Two athletes, two different approaches. It's worth considering what Sue Bird had to say about this. Let's take a closer look.
It's really fun, rewarding, and also interesting to watch these younger athletes step into their professional careers. Obviously, Caitlin and Angel are two great examples.
Here's something interesting. While one WNBA rookie is focused on clearing her social media accounts, another is focused on clearing her competition on the court. Let's dive into the story of two very different off-seasons.
Right, like so much earlier, these athletes are thinking about themselves as businesses, as brands. And it's amazing because they're carrying that with them to the WNBA, and so everything's just bigger.
First up, there's Angel Reese, who proudly embraces her Bayou Barbie persona. However, it seems she's more focused on maintaining that image than refining her skills on the court. Her most recent attention-grabbing moment: a mocha-colored animal print gown with a slit so high it might just block more shots than her defense. But here's the twist: her latest fashion choice didn't exactly sit well with her fans.
How can you wear that and also complain and post it and also complain that you don't like being sexualized? What is the take here?
You know, it's funny. I just did another show right before this one, and we talked about how this younger generation just wants to cry and be victims about everything, right?
Yep, you heard that right. Reese's Instagram account disappeared almost as quickly as her aspirations of becoming the next big WNBA star. Why? Apparently, some people felt her New Year's Eve outfit was a bit too flashy for a professional athlete. But don't worry, Reese's fans. She's still making waves on TikTok and Twitter because, hey, priorities, right?
Understand, you want to wear it, you feel great about it, you got a great body, you play in the WNBA, but you cannot cry. You cannot say anything. I mean, have you seen some of her TikTok posts? Like, she's literally held up an outline after getting waxed. You can literally see all of her business there outlined in blue wax. And I'm like, oh yes, please tell me how sexualized you are. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Here's the thing. While Reese is busy lip-syncing to songs about how amazing she is, her critics are singing a different tune. They argue that her social media is more about fashion and personal branding than basketball, with the sport taking a back seat. It's almost like she's aiming to be a Kardashian with a basketball, but the basketball part doesn't seem to be her top priority.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
Now, let's switch gears and talk about Caitlin Clark. You know, the one who's actually backing up the hype. Sure, she's involved in some off-court activities, charity work here, a round of golf there, but where does she spend most of her time? On the court. Surprising, right? What if I told you Clark's off-season routine is so intense, it could make even seasoned pros break a sweat? She's not just striking poses, she's perfecting her game. We're talking intense workouts, skill drills, and yes, actual basketball. Novel concept, right?
Got a new coach who's going to give you new looks, new game plans. You've got another year with Aaliyah Boston, likely Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull. And then you've got the moves that the Fever can make in the offseason, whether it be free agency or the draft, to bolster the roster.
Clark isn't just refining her already impressive shooting skills. She's getting stronger, developing a mid-range floater, and even working on her left-hand game. It's like she's constructing a basketball empire, while Reese seems focused on building a house of cards with Instagram posts. But hey, maybe Reese could use some advice from a WNBA legend to help shift her focus back to the court.
Now they're in that world. And so my only advice is usually just to make sure they keep basketball the main thing, because at the end of the day, that is your vehicle.
You know what's wild? While Angel Reese is busy trying to break the internet, Sue Bird just dropped a truth bomb that could shatter Reese's entire career. Yep, you heard that right. The WNBA legend recently entered the conversation and isn't holding back. Let's be honest for a second. When Sue Bird speaks, everyone listens. And this time, her advice has people wondering, is she trying to save Reese's career, or is she predicting its downfall?
It's your vehicle to, Angel Reese has a podcast. It's her vehicle to be a podcaster, right? Whatever Caitlin ends up doing, it's the vehicle to get you to that point. So you always want to make sure that part doesn't fall off.
Bird didn't name names, but it sure felt like she was looking straight at Reese when she compared athletes' personal brands to their on-court performance. She even brought LeBron James into the conversation, highlighting how the king never misses a workout despite his massive off-court commitments. It's almost like she's holding up a mirror to Reese and saying, see the difference. But that's not all. Bird's warning isn't just about skipping a few gym sessions, it's about the bigger picture. The long-term focus that actually matters in a pro athlete's career. She's essentially telling them, keep your eye on the ball, not the camera.
It's a balance. You have to find that balance. But when you look at some of the other athletes, particularly men, who've set a little bit of a blueprint in terms of the business and the sport, you never see LeBron miss a workout.
Now, let's connect the dots. While Bird is dropping these pearls of wisdom, where's Reese? Oh, just busy with red carpet appearances, podcast interviews, and complaining about her salary. It's almost like she's auditioning for Real Housewives of the WNBA instead of focusing on becoming a top-tier player. Here's the thing. Bird's not just talking for the sake of it. There's a reason she's a legend, and it's not because of her Instagram following. She's seen firsthand what happens when players lose focus on the game. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well. We're talking shorter careers, fading skills, and a one-way ticket to remember when status.
A lot of the videos we see with Caitlin Clark, she's got actual men, grown men out there in her face trying to keep her from making shots and this and that and the other. There's not a lot of hands in Angel Reese's face here. And I am confused by the fact that she's trying to become this long-range player, it looks like. This is... she plays under the basket, or we thought she was playing under the basket.
Guess what happens when you prioritize your media visibility over your layup? Your layup starts looking like it belongs on TikTok, not in the WNBA. And trust me, Reese has a long blooper reel to show for it. That's exactly what Bird's warning is all about. But surely Reese is still focused on basketball, right? Well, about that. When was the last time you saw a training montage from the Bayou Barbie that didn't revolve around her latest fashion or social media moment instead of her skills on the court? Let's be clear. Building your brand isn't a problem, but when it overshadows your game, that's when things start to get concerning. So, what about Caitlin Clark? We'll get to that in a bit. When the big dogs start barking, you better listen, and right now, they're barking up Angel Reese's tree. It's not just Sue Bird anymore, there's a whole chorus of critics, and they're not exactly praising Reese.
She's a rookie in the league whose team sucked, who asked out at the end of the season with an injury, who won't shut up about herself, who ran their best player out of town. The coach got fired, and she started a podcast 5 seconds into the thing, creating all this controversy, showing up with her first-round draft pick, had the season she had, the controversy she had, got injured in a questionable injury, asked out, and then started a podcast gossiping about everything in the league as a rookie? Please.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Caitlin's head down, just in the gym,
ready to go.
You don't hear a peep from her. She cares about on the. So you got me wound.
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is, like everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your shot is your shot.
When she was literally the most inefficient player within 5 foot in all of the WNBA. Any which way you put it, she shot bad from the field. All right, she's 6'3" and she plays under the basket, and she shot 39.1% from the field.
I just come out here and try to play basketball in a way that people love watching, in a way that is going to make my team successful. And the records and whatever, or the stats, that's just what comes.
You guys saw this workout. This workout has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlin Clark because she is like directly working on her weaknesses, which I think is a good look. Honestly, I think that's a really, really good look for her because, again, when we're seeing somebody working on their weaknesses and not the glamorous weaknesses.